Got a mini torque wrench to look at today from Capri Tools. Let's open this one up and take a closer look. Hey, what's up YouTube? Dan the Fix-It Man. Got another quick video here for you. This is a torque wrench from Capri Tools. This happens to be a 3/8 drive mini torque wrench, and this is an inch-pound torque wrench. It goes from 100 to 500 inch-pounds. But let's go ahead and open it up and take a closer look and see how it does. Comes in a nice little plastic case. Now it comes with a nice sticker here along with a user manual and warranty, and it comes with this Certificate of Conformance. Says that this is in tolerance of plus or minus 4%. Looks like it's been signed and dated down here, so we'll set that aside as well. But let's take a look at the torque wrench. Now it says read me first. We need to always set the torque to the lowest torque setting before and after each use, and at low torque setting pull the wrench slowly before you can hear a click. Now that's an important warning, especially with a click style torque wrench, because it's very easy sometimes to pull that and not hear the click, and you'll just go all the way past it. You won't feel it or hear it, and you'll end up over torquing and sometimes breaking bolts. Let's take this tag off. Now, as I mentioned, this is an inch-pound torque wrench, which is really handy on a lot of the smaller fasteners on engines. For example, changing a Honda spool valve assembly, a lot of times it's hard to get a full-size torque wrench in there, and a lot of times the settings aren't quite low enough, and you'll end up overdoing it. And sometimes those bolts can not only break, but you can cause a leak if you overdo it. People tend to overdo the smaller bolts more than underdo them. Now, it's very easy to adjust the setting. It's a positive engagement here on the handle. You just pull that back and you turn this up, or dial that all the way up to the torque setting that you'd like. So for example, right now it was set at 100 inch-pounds. You can see it's printed on the handle 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10, 12.5, all the way up, all the way around to 22.5, and then back to 25 again. So that's 25 inch-pound measurements between each one of these bigger numbers here. So it goes from 100 to 125, 150, 175, and so forth. Pretty straightforward and pretty easy to change that. I'm gonna leave it set at 100 here, and we'll do a test in just a minute. But also just wanted to show you up here at the top, this is a 3/8 drive anvil. So a lot of times these smaller inch-pound torque wrenches are 1/4 inch drive, and so it's nice to have the option to stick with the 3/8 drive sockets or fasteners that you might be using. For example, if you're doing a lot of work on the engine and all the sockets you're using are 3/8 drive, it's nice that you can grab this 3/8 drive torque wrench and not have to change your socket size or come up with an adapter to do so. This is also a quick release. Check that out. Quick release on a torque wrench is something that a lot of torque wrenches don't have, and I do like that it's got that. Again, it's a smaller torque setting, so you're not going to have to worry about snapping that off or anything. Let's take a look and see how a socket fits on there. So here's a 3/8 drive socket, and then that quick release, just push the button and takes the socket right off. Have to push the button just to push the socket on. I don't have quick release on every ratchet that I have, but I do have that preference. I do like to use the quick release, especially if I've got some real greasy hands or real dirty hands, depending on whatever project I'm working on. But seems nice and smooth, not a lot of back drag. Now, in order to switch directions, you can just grab this dial right here. It's almost like these serrated ridges on this dial right here, and you can just turn that and that will switch directions. So right now we're set up to loosen. Turn that again, and that's tightened. Now, the other thing I like about this is the compact size. You can see this is quite a bit shorter than most torque wrenches, especially a 3/8 drive torque wrench. It says that it's 34% shorter than your typical torque wrench. This measures in at 10 3/4 inches in total length. That definitely will help. You know, if you're working in a really confined space, for example, on the back of an engine in between a firewall, you'll still be able to get that desired torque setting by having enough room to swing this. It's also really light, by the way. This is an all aluminum body, and the whole torque wrench weighs 0.7 pounds. Seems like it'll be real easy to use, and I do like that nice light weight. Now let's take this over to the workbench. I've got a bolt sitting in a vise right now, and I want to tighten it at 100 inch-pounds, which is the lowest setting on this torque wrench. I just want to see how audible that click will be, and or make sure that we can either feel or hear it with this torque wrench. So let's go take a look at that now. All right, I've got a bolt in a nut here in the vise just to hold that steady while we test this out, and I just wanted to see how audible this click really is, and I've got it again set at the lowest setting here of 100 inch-pounds. Well, that's nice. That's really nice and loud. That's definitely going to let you know that you've reached that torque setting. You can also see that the wrench does move quite a bit. You're also going to feel that in the handle. It definitely lets you know that you've hit that setting. So real happy with this. Definitely a lot louder than some of the other ones that I've used in the past. Again, the quick release, it looks like you do have to push the button in order to engage the socket. I just grabbed another brand of socket here just to test that out. And you can see it won't push on until you push that quick release button. without pushing the button, I can't quite get that socket to slide on, so you are going to have to push that button in order to get the socket on. But once it's on, stays on until you push that button, so it works exactly like you would want. Now the part number on this is CP31800-500IN, but that's pretty much it. Seems like it's going to work out great, and I love that small size, and it is nice and lightweight. Definitely going to be reaching for this next time I need to torque some bolts at a lower setting. I hope you guys like this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you don't mind. That does help me out. And of course, I'll get a link in the description where you can pick up your own 3/8 drive mini torque wrench from Capri Tools as well. Thanks so much for watching, and good luck.